Welcome back, citizens, to another video. Alright, in my last video I showed you how to do the combat missions, and they were removed from the game, or they were just broken for several days, but now they have been turned back on, and CIG has put in the hotfix that allows them to show up a lot more often. But they changed something. The missions now are much harder to actually steal the ship, because I guess CIG has realized that we were doing this, and they want us to actually fight and defeat all of the enemy hostile ships before we actually take that ship back and turn in the cargo for the rewards. But it is still possible to do it, and today I'm going to show you how to do it with just a starter ship and a bike. So let's get up to into space and I'll show you how to do this. But first, just as a recap, let me show you how to actually get the mission. If you're here and you're looking, let's say I'm looking at ArcCorp. So as you can see, there's a number of missions next to Resource Drive, the event. Now, if this number is either a 9 or a 10, then that means you're going to actually see the mission that we're looking for. So the mission that we want to pick is a mission for 127k. So it's much easier to look for the mission based on the actual amount than it is to try to read the actual title or description. It's a lot faster. Now, when you don't see the mission, the best thing to do is to toggle between accepted and offers, and just keep going back and forth with this until it shows up. Sometimes if the mission does actually appear and you click on it and it just vanishes, all that means is that someone else has already snatched up the mission. So doing it this way, see how it just popped up to 9, and now there's the mission that I want, and I click on accept. See, I missed it. As fast as I wasn't fast enough, and somebody else grabbed that mission. So I'll go back and I'll just keep watching ArcCorp, and I'll just keep going back and forth until I find the mission. And it shows up pretty often. So it's not like you have to waste time. You don't have to hop to a different server or a different region. Just keep going back and forth, because it really does work a lot better now, and the missions show up a lot more often. The mission is appearing in different planets or whatever, but I'm focusing on ArcCorp right now because that's where I'm at. You could, if you want, just keep going, just jumping around, but that takes more time because now you'd have to be jumping around to different planets. So I'm just going to stay here and keep going back and forth until I get the mission. Since this is taking a moment here, I'm going to come back when I actually have the mission. Alright, so I got the mission and it didn't really take that long. So now that I have the mission, let's head out. Now, the way to do this is...
Hi, this is your first job with ArcCorp, right? Oh wait, sorry, that's the other contractor. I know you've done this job before, so just keep it up. Alright, later.
Alright. So what you have to do is you have to put this bike, if you're going to use this starter ship. I mean, you can use maybe you have a bigger ship that it's easier to get it in, but I wanted to use a ship like this because I wanted to show you how you could do this with something really small. So you have to use the tractor beam in order to get this bike inside of the ship, and there's only one way to really get it in here, and it's through the door. Now, do not use the multi-tool, because when you use the multi-tool and you toggle a bike, it just starts spinning out of control. And I actually am trying to rotate it the normal way, holding down R, and I have absolutely no control. So you don't want to use the multi-tool. Instead, you want to use the rifle. Now I have control over the bike, and I can control the rotation of the bike in any direction. So always use this. So now let's go and put it in. I can't really tell you how to get it in here into this door. You're just gonna have to practice with it, and the more you do it, the better you'll get at putting it in here. But when you do get it in the inside of the door here, you want to move it to the right. You want to get it out of the doorway so that when the door closes, it doesn't crash into the bike. If it does, the bike could clip outside of the ship. So you see how I just dropped it down in here, and it's out of the way. So now I can close this door and it'll just sit there. Perfect. Okay. Now, as I said in my previous video, there are 2 ships that can pop up with this mission. Either a Caterpillar or an M2. The Caterpillar is straightforward, it's pretty easy, and all the instructions that I gave in the last video still apply for that. But the M2, for some reason, they've made it much more difficult. What they've done is they've put more hostile ships, and they've put more powerful ships around it, so that when you try to get into that ship and steal it and take off, they're gonna soft def it. So there is a way to get around that, and that's the reason why I brought a bike. Now I'm at the mission location. What you want to do is you want to come to a complete halt as soon as you get here, because you don't want to trigger the mission before you're ready and you're on your bike. So I'm going to sit here, and let's see, I'm going to, first of all, let's turn my shields on. Not that it really matters. Actually, I'm going to power down. Let's power this ship off. I want my signature to be as low as possible. I really don't want these guys to be triggered before I'm ready. So I haven't actually triggered the whole mission yet. And right now, my ship is pointing directly towards where the mission is going to start. You see that little asteroid there in front of me. So now let's go. Now I've done this a few times, and the best way to get this bike out is to open the door. Come on, yeah. Get behind the bike. Not with this, with this. And then use it to get it out. There we go. That I have found is the fastest way to get this bike out of the ship. Trust me, if you do this wrong, you could be sitting here fighting with this all day. I hit the wrong button. I think the ship is actually, the bike is actually moving. But once you hit that point, then you can get on. Okay, so I'm on the bike. Now let's power it up. Now my orientation might be a little off, but the way you find it is, see, I had my ship pointing towards the mission, so all I have to do is orient myself towards the front of my ship, and there it is. So this is the direction that I need to go, because I don't have any markers yet. So now when I start to move my bike, I'm going to get the marker, and hopefully it's going to be the M2, but this works with both the Caterpillar or the M2. And maybe if I don't have the M2, I might do it again, just to prove that this actually works, because the M2 is the problem. Okay, so now I've triggered the next stage of the mission, and you can see some of the enemy ships. Now what's gonna happen when I get really close, you're gonna hear this big explosion, and it's not really an explosion, it's just an audio cue to let me know that more enemy ships are incoming. So they've already got a few ships here, but they're going to send in more. I'm trying to target the actual cargo ship, but that's not it. I gotta get closer. Now the difference between using the bike and another ship, a fighter, is literally seconds. Because I'm on the bike, these hostile ships are not attacking me. They're not triggered, so they're going to sit still. And those few seconds make the biggest difference. All right, awesome. This is an M2. So when I get here, there should be an explosion when I get really close. But notice, look at the hostile ships. You see how close they are to it? And they're different ships. I can toggle some of them. There's that explosion. There it is. More ships just came in. Look at this. We've got a prowler. I don't know. Oh, that's nothing. We've got a, I don't know what that is. I guess it's a blade. You know. We've got a cuddy. That's not really much of a threat. But there are some threats here. The fact is, it's just the sheer number of ships that are here now. And if I had a fighter, this would be much more difficult, because there's a good chance that they're going to soft def it before I can actually get into the pilot seat. But because I have a bike and they're not triggered on me, I literally have a few extra seconds. So all I have to do is get a little closer. I mean, they are just swarming. They're just waiting for me to do this. Okay, I guess that's close enough. Let's leave the bike. Now, the other thing that I learned is that you don't want to go into the M2 through the back door, because this is where all of the boxes are loaded, and they're stocked right by this back hangar bay, cargo bay door. So you don't want to go in that way, because then you have to fight past the boxes. It's also a longer trip. You can't use the elevator because that's way too slow. The way to do this is to come in through the front cargo bay, the cargo ramp. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. From the front, you have a clear path directly to the ladder, and that's what you want to take. You want to take the ladder and you want to go up to the top deck. But there's nothing obstructing me from getting into the ship and going straight to that ladder. But as soon as I touch down inside of this ship, they're going to start attacking it, and the shields are down. So every second counts, and that's the reason why you want to do this as fast as you possibly can. So let's try it and hope I don't get caught up here. I got caught up a little bit, but I didn't lose too much time. Let's go, let's go. Okay. See, you hear that? They're already shooting. And they ain't playing. They're firing everything they got, trying to prevent me from doing this. And come on. All right. If you can power up, usually you're good. But that was literally, that's literally the difference. And then you can just, you can quantum anywhere and get away from them. So It's that simple. It might take you might have to do it a couple of times to practice, but that's the process. Come in through the front door and sprint. And get into this pilot seat as fast as you possibly can. Now I'm going to try to do it with a fighter, and I'll pick something like a Gladius to show you the difference. But first, I actually need this cargo, so I'm going to go drop this off, and I'll be back with the fighter to show you. I mean, it has changed, and it's not as easy as it was before. Another thing that you want to do is before you finish unloading your cargo and turning it in, you want to go ahead and you want to claim your bike and your ship that you're using to carry it. In this case, because the ships are so small, it's going to be pretty fast, but this will save you a little bit of time. So by the time I'm done unloading, both the ship and the bike will be ready.
Your insurance claim has been. Please visit us again.
Also, they have CIG is still working on another bug with the elevators. If you double stack anything, then it could break, or it won't actually store the cargo. You'll get an error message. So don't double stack until they fix it. They're working on the fix now. And just so you understand what I'm talking about, double stacking means stacking one cargo box on top of another. Let me see. That is double stacking. Don't do that, or you might not be able to successfully complete the mission. Just put everything on the floor. Let me just make sure I got all the cargo out. Pretty sure. Double check. Yep, got it all. Okay. So now I'm going to turn it in, and then I'm going to show you what to do with this ship. Now, before I do, let me just take a look at the journal here. All right, I'm working on ArcCorp, and I currently have 1,308 SCU turned in. So let's see how much I get for this mission.
Hey, Elle here. Seeing that you were able to complete the delivery, thanks. And if you could do another, that'd be even better. Alright, gotta go.
Okay, so a little over 100. Okay. Not too bad. There's a chance that this ship would just despawn. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get it to do that. I'm gonna try to despawn the ship, because you can't store it, you can't keep it. I mean, you could use it if you wanted to do some other things. I could repair it. I think I can repair it. Let me see what I can do with this. These ships are temporary for these missions, and when you log out, they'll disappear, but you could use it. And what I'm thinking is, like, maybe you have a strategy where if you really want to take a chance on the other missions, the other hauling missions, and you don't own a ship like this, and you don't feel like trying to rent it. I don't even know if you can rent an M2. You may have to only be able to purchase it. I'll have to check later. But it did take a lot of damage. Let's see what it would cost to fix it, or if I can. Or, I mean, repair it. That's not bad. 8.9k to repair. Not bad. Considering I made 127k, so that's not a big deal. So there you go. So this is one way of just getting a free hauler if you wanted to do some of the other missions and you don't have a really big ship, even though the raft is the best ship for the hauling, and that's the one that most people will use for that. It makes sense. It's just much more efficient, but this ship can be used. Now let's see if I can get rid of it really fast. So what I'm hoping, that by calling up another ship, that this one is just going to despawn. We'll see. Alright, so I'm just going to try to call up my starter ship, Intrepid, and see if that M2 just despawns.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Please visit us again.
Ah, it didn't. You can see how it's doubled up there. I can actually see the name of the M2. It's still sitting there. So that didn't work. So the best thing to do, let me see if I can
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
The reason why I came up here and didn't do it inside of the hangar is because when you're in the hangar, you have to go through all of the animations. But when you do it from the ASOP terminal at the lobby, you don't have to deal with that.
Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility.
See how fast it's stored?
Please visit us again.
So it's gone. The Intrepid is gone, but that M2 is still sitting there. So that didn't work. So let me show you how I get rid of these. And I think it's hit or miss. I think sometimes it will just despawn if you just want to get rid of the ship. But since that didn't work, I'm going to do it this way. I'm just going to fly it outside of the hangar. And somebody mentioned in my previous video that this is the best way to do it, is they suggested that you just use the space station and don't fly down to the planet in order to quickly get rid of this ship if you don't want it. If you're at Microtech, yeah, you could fly it and leave it outside of the commons. That also works. But the space station is probably still better even at Microtech, because it's quicker to land the ship, unload it, and move it out of your way than to fly down to a planet. It just takes longer. So now I'm just gonna find the landing pad. I know where it is because I've been doing this a lot lately. It's right over here at Bikini Point, and I'll just park it next to it, and eventually it'll either despawn or somebody will just pick it up. Doesn't matter. Point is, it's out of my way. That's good. And there's a 300i here. This would work well with the 300i too. And I intentionally picked the Intrepid because it's even smaller. The door is just a little bit bigger on that ship, so it would be a little bit easier to get that bike inside. You might be able to fit it into the cargo bay on that 300. I'm not sure. I haven't tested that. And I always do this. Well, I'm not actually going to use the starter ship this time. This time I'm going to pull out my Gladius.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the vault. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Because hopefully I'll get another M2, because I want to show you what happens, because I know this is going to happen to some of you watching this video. You're going to get into a fighter and you're going to try to do this, and they're going to just soft def the ship. I mean, if you can get into that pilot seat before the ship gets soft def, it's almost pure luck. Oh, I didn't even pick up the mission. Hold on, let's grab the mission. What? Wow, talk about luck. The mission was just sitting here. Okay.
Hey, it's Elle. Thanks for handling another job. I'm sure you'll do great. Our corp really needs all the competent people we can get right now. What? Yeah, I'm hanging up.
When it comes to doing this with the fighter, it doesn't matter if the fighter has got stealth components or not. It's not going to make a difference. So I'll just show you. Another thing too with the fighter method is you know, you really want to have a ship that you can eject out of. Don't bother trying to open up the canopy and going through that slow animation to get out of the ship. You know, because sometimes, depending on how aggressive they are, they could kill you before you can actually get through that animation. The fastest way out of this ship is to eject. So you want a ship that can do that actually. So now I'm just going to fly straight in. And I'm going to stay in nav mode because I want to get to the ship as fast as I can. Oh, it's over here. Okay, this is a different class of ships. I'm seeing Hornets and Vanguards. So this might not be so difficult. It makes a difference. I don't know the entire complement of the hostile ships, but I do know that they have different sets of hostile ships. So depending on what set of ships you are going up against is going to make a difference in the difficulty in doing this. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to get really close, about a little less than 1 kilometer away, and eject. Alright. Congratulations, you blew up an empty ship. Alright. So good, it's an M2, so we're gonna be able to demonstrate just how tough this is. Hear that? That means that they've just spawned in the reinforcements. And they've got me surrounded. I think that prowler is the biggest problem. That might be something new that they added to the mission since the hotfix, which is causing the high failure rate. They just don't want you to do this. They want you to go through the pain. Or they just want you to bring friends. But if you're like me and you're flying solo most of the time, this is how you do it. Is okay. So I want to be kind of high up. Sometimes this ramp will snag you out of the air, and when it does, yeah, like that. Okay, I got it. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. I'm surprised I haven't heard any shots yet. But see, I think there's a different set of enemy ships here. Look at, oh wow, look at what time I just lost. Go, go, go. These animations kill you too. Go. Oh my gosh. Ugh. So I just got caught up with another one of those animation bugs where you power up the ship, but it doesn't actually highlight anything, and it just didn't work in time. By the time I figured it out and got it powered up, it was too late. So even though I got caught up, I still don't think I would have made it. I think they would have soft def the ship anyway. And that's the problem with coming with a fighter as opposed to using a bike. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd love to hear your comments down below. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. If you think there's another way or a better way, I'd love to hear about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.